Mm, bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. Good evening, my friends. Hello, everyone. Now, I don't know if we're going to be on Facebook. We were clear to us that we were. Oh, here it is. Here we are. We are on Facebook. It's a wonderful thing. Thank goodness. Yes, we're back up and running again. I always get a kick out of that. Facebook. Oh, yeah. So, hello, my friends. My name is Joette Calabrese, and I'm here to teach you every Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a homeopath, and I love being here. I've been doing this for years now. We haven't missed very many Mondays. If we have, it's only been because we've had some technical problems. Not because I don't plan to be here, because I do love being here. And for those who do know me, welcome. It's great to see you. Love to see you all coming in right now. And we're going to be talking about an interesting remedy. And I also, I see, however, that Carmen is written in. And she said, I just have to say this. Hello, everyone from all over the world. It's wonderful, all over the country, all over the US, Canada, and all over the world. And she said, this is my first live since my mother died 3 weeks ago. Do you have anything for a broken heart? And what I love is that people are hopping in. Here you go. Pam says, "Oh, my dear, sympathies to you. I'm so sorry and so sorry. Have you tried Ignatia? And Ignatia can help you," says Cindy. It's just, you see, the way this is supposed to be. This should not be in the hands of big industry, big government, synthetic stuff. I'm sorry. This is organic. This is human. This is real. This is the real stuff of life. To put a helping hand out and, well, the way I always envision it is linking arms across the earth. And so I'm going to tell you before I go any further, because that's such a touching um, statement here. I am going to tell you my own little story. Many of you know it. I've talked about it before. But first, I want to say hello to everyone. And so, yes, that helped with sleep too, says Carmen. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Condolences. God bless you, says. Sorry for your loss. It's just lovely. Look at this. It's really, it gives me hope in humanity when I see all of us together like this. And so let's see what we've got coming in Facebook. It's coming in from Georgia. And good. And Christy. Hi, Christy. You're in Mexico. Oh, for goodness sake. Guerrero Negro. Guerrero Negro. So someplace that's black in Mexico. Very interesting. Hello from Georgia, says Becky. Hello from Indiana. Hi from Superior. That's wonderful. Toronto. Hello, Alice. Nice to see you all. Okay, so before we get started on our study tonight from the Materia Medica, do I have it in front of me? Yes, I have. This is what we use for those of you who are not familiar. You can purchase this should you choose, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. There are many Materia Medicas. They're all just different. Mine is very simple, quick reference. That's what my goal was in putting it together. So let me just talk to Carmen, Carmen's question. And so I'll relate to you when my father passed away. It was harder for me when my father passed away than my mother. Who knows why these things happen? Of course, I miss her terribly. She lived with us for the last year and a half of her life. So, and I took care of her every day. So did my husband, and so did my brother. We would take turns taking care of her in our homes. But when my father passed away, it was very, very painful. And it actually brought me to my knees. And I really mean that sincerely. I took Ignatia 200 And it seemed to help for that first day, but then it didn't help that night and the next day. And it was really very, I was distraught. I was so distraught that I couldn't think. And I was in true Sicilian form. I was wailing. I've often said this before. I can't believe I'm telling this to the world, to people I don't even know out there as well. But I wasn't just weeping. I wasn't crying. I was wailing. I know that sounds crazy, but it kind of took me. It took over my psyche to be in such deep sorrow over the loss of him was really big. And I didn't sleep that first night. Second day, I took Aurum Metallicum, even though I'd been taking Ignatia. I just didn't feel like Ignatia was enough. I took Aurum Metallicum 200, and it helped a little while. But then the second night, I could not sleep, crying, wailing. Just the sorrow was so deep. By the third day, I felt as though I needed something else. And I thought that Aurum would be correct because it was a deep, deep depression. And so that day I took Coffea 200. Now, I'm not telling you, Carmen, to do this because I don't know. You want to read up on this. Ignatia does help with sleep as well as sorrow and loss, grief. But for me, I think I needed that Coffea 200 because I hadn't slept in 2 nights. And Coffea 200 is one of the medicines that we use in combination with Aurum Metallicum for deep depression. And upon taking that Coffea 200, it was like alchemy. Bam! It was over. Not that I didn't grieve any longer, but I was no longer useless to my family. I was no longer wailing. I was able to think, okay, what do we have to do? Okay, mom, how are we going to take care of mom now? Let's plan the funeral, the wake. Let's get this all into gear. Let's get a hold of the relatives. And I was able to do what my family needed me to do. Up until that point, I was downright useless. It was 2.5 days of that. And I never looked back. Doesn't mean I don't miss him. Doesn't mean it's not sorrowful when I think about him. But I never went back to that deep, sorrowful, gut wrenching pain of loss. So there are those three medicines: Ignatia, Ignatia 200, or Metallicum 200, and Coffea 200, all 200s. Love them all. As a matter of fact, I used Ignatia and 1M and it made no difference. I really like these 200 potencies. So I wanted to address that because I see when I see people suffering and there's such a simple solution, I like to be able to give them some ideas. I'm not prescribing for you. I'm just giving ideas. And then what I also recommend is that anyone who looks at this information, that they go to the Materia Medica and read those three medicines, and then read the first one again, and then the second one again, and compare it to the third one. And also use the Banerjee book, Banerjee Protocol book. Very, very useful. So let's say hello to everyone from Texas and Arkansas, and it's so great. Okay, it's wonderful. Now I'm in Buffalo, and I am really bundled up. It is cold here. I don't mind because I do enjoy being in Buffalo. Hello from Chico, says Michelle. Hi in Ohio. Yeah, it was about 6 degrees today, I think. Massachusetts. I'm sure it's cold all over. Yes, yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah, you are seeing we're all set, right? We're doing all right on Facebook, right, Perry? Yes, good. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. You bet. Um, yeah, tell your Facebook friends to become mighty members. Problem solved. Yes, Jody, I agree. As a matter of fact, when we had problems with Facebook last week, a group from Facebook came right over to Mighty's and joined right in. So welcome, my friends who were old Facebookers and are now Mighty members. All right, so let's talk about the remedy at hand. Shall I? Shall we? So this is what I wrote. I'll bet you can use another really good medicine in your arsenal for skin conditions. Keep this one in your hip pocket for when nothing else will do. All righty. And so let's talk about this medicine. You may not know which one I'm talking about because I'm not following a pattern anymore. I'm really just going through some of the remedies that I didn't teach over the last couple of years from my Materia Medica. And so we're going back and making sure that we're touching on all of them. This one is called Croton. No, that's the first word. There are two words. Croton Tiglium, Tiglium. These words, are they not fabulous? Croton tiglium. Very cool. It's croton oil seed, if you happen to know what it is. I have used this medicine and I like it in a 6 or 30. Now it is one of the very good medicines, I might add, for cholera and also dysentery. Now I didn't say that in my teas in Facebook. I do want you to know about that. It's particularly valuable when there is a skin itching eruption, um, alternating or in concomitant, I should say, it's not necessarily alternating, concomitant with diarrhea, especially summer diarrhea. Now, that summer diarrhea, I'm going to go back and forth between eczema and rashes and itching, etc., and diarrhea. That summer diarrhea, it's a very specific kind of diarrhea. It's often a diarrhea that affects children, babies. That is worse in the summer, or it occurs, it starts in the summer. And there can be a concomitant symptom of a rash that's very itchy. So let me read to you from my Materia Medica here. This is a useful remedy for ailments of the skin, which may alternate with diarrhea. Now, when I say alternate, it doesn't mean it's going to alternate where we're going to see itchy skin and then 2 weeks later we'll see diarrhea and then back again. What that means by alternating, it means that you're going to see itchy skin maybe in one part of the day and then another part of the day we're going to see diarrhea. Or it can be within hours of each other or even minutes of each other. The skin feels taut. And that's a big part of the skin issue. It's a taut feeling. And though it itches intensely, scratching is not what gives the person relief. It's not about scratching. It is about rubbing. The person wants like a bear up against a tree. So imagine that. Croton tiglium for a bear that rubs up against the tree. It wants rubbing, not scratching. That bear is not using his claws. He's using the scratching or the rubbing that softens slightly through the thick fur, the coat of fur. So eczema can appear all over the entire body. So, most people think of eczema just on the hands or the wrists, flexors of the elbows, axillary. No, no. This one often, not always, but often covers the entire body. Can you imagine? I have worked and still am working with people who have that condition. It is pretty intense, very difficult thing to live with. And unless you've walked in the shoes of someone who has suffered in many of these conditions, you can't imagine how awful this can be. And the skin becomes crusty. So there's terrible itching. There are eruptions all over. They need to rub, and then they may also have diarrhea. And so it may especially appear on the scalp. I'm reading from my Materia Medica, and around the eyes and the external genitalia. So it has a lot to do with the face and external genitalia, and that's where the rashes are show. But also, this can sometimes have rectal neuralgia. Now, can be an association with the diarrhea, or it may not. It may just simply be. Another aspect of the kind of itching that we see with croton tiglium is there is a formication. What's formication? It's a sense like bugs are crawling, not on the skin so much, but under the skin. Yeah, it's really awful. And because it almost feels like it's central nervous system. Maybe it feels exactly like central nervous system. Maybe it's not almost. Maybe it really is that feeling. So also the mucous membranes of the intestinal tracts are affected, producing watery, copious stools. The diarrhea can be so extreme. It has even been described as being like water pouring out of a hydrant. So you can imagine how extremely ill this person can feel. Now, it doesn't have to be that extreme, but it can go to that event. Urgency is sudden and extreme and often occurs immediately after eating or drinking. It is a very good medicine. Symptoms of a person called needing croton tiglium are generally worse from drinking and eating and intensify during the summer months. And I want you to remember that after eating, drinking, diarrhea, and then intensifying during the summer months. Now, it could be that they've caught something, such as cholera, or it could simply be that it just happens to be in the summer months. Fascinating, isn't it? It's a great medicine. Um, Keep this in your hip pocket. It is in our part of the world, in the United States, North America, Europe, maybe. We don't see the cholera happening as readily, so we're more likely to see the skin issues. But we can still see cholera. It can still show up. I like to use it in a 6 or a 30th potency. Generally, I would use it in a C, and I would use the 6 every if it's very severe, and it doesn't have to be very severe in the beginning. If it's not so severe, then it would be twice daily. If it's quite severe, then I would use it every 15 minutes for the first hour, and then less frequently after that, maybe every 3 hours. And then we're always looking for that tipping point, aren't we? We're always looking for where we can back off and say, okay, the person is improving, and now we open it up. And so instead of every 15 minutes for that first hour, now we're going to maybe every 2 hours after that. And if the itching is calming a little bit, or that formication is not so intense, or the diarrhea is not as urgent, then we're moving in the right direction. And I want to remind you that when we're looking at whether or not is this medicine acting, this is the way we know. We see less intensity to the symptoms. There's 3 criteria, okay? 3 magic markers. Less intensity to symptoms, lasting for a shorter period of time, and a larger space between each episode. So we're not going to see necessarily itching that's constant. We might see episodic itching. We may not see diarrhea that's constant, but it's episodic. So we want to see these episodes not as intense, lasting for a shorter period of time, and a larger space between each time they occur. Now, don't expect linear shift. In other words, don't expect, well, now it's every 3 hours that the diarrhea is occurring. And now it's every 4 hours. Now it's every 5.5 hours. It can happen like that. But if it goes every 5 hours, now it's every 6 hours. Wow, we're opening up. Things are improving. That's very good. We're using the medicine a little less frequently. We know we're onto the right medicine. And then because of that, people often assume that that means, okay, we're going to keep going in that direction. But then if they fall back and it's now every 15 minutes again for an episode or two, don't assume that you've lost the battle. Do not think that. Carry on, because we're going to see, sometimes we see 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Sometimes we see 3 steps backward and 1 step forward. What we're always looking is from a bird's eye view. You're going to look down at the case and see an overview. Don't get caught up in the minutia of the absolute. Especially if it's a family member. Mom, it's happening again. I'm going downward. It's not, the medicine must not be right. And that's often what happens, is that people become frightened, and then they will influence, especially if it's a family member, they will influence you to believe that you've chosen incorrectly. Just hold your ground, stay calm, and observe, and carry on, and observe, and carry on. All righty. That's important stuff for you folks to understand. And and there's another aspect I want you to know too, but I'm going to check out some of your questions, and I'm going to take a sip from my tea. Okay. Oh, you folks are wonderful. You bet. Look at this. Look at all this help for Carmen. You bet. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. Really, thank you. Thank you for inviting me into your home every Monday night. Thank you for helping each other. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being my inspiration. And you are, I have to tell you, you are my inspiration. If I were here and you weren't, what would I? Now what? I'd be talking to no one. And I wouldn't have all of these wonderful people. Um, Yeah, Joette, can you please share an update on how the Banerjee Clinic is doing? I think it's doing fine. The senior doctors are running it. Last I spoke, well, there are lots of, there's a lot of catching up to do, but they're still running it. It's still happening. Yep, as far as I know. Now it's been a couple months since I've spoken to anyone there, but yep. Hong Kong, welcome from Hong Kong. It's great, Fredonia. All right. Let's see if we have any questions here. Um, Thank you so much for, okay, good. Wait. All righty. Let's see if we've got more questions on Facebook. Is there a specific link to the Banerjee book? You can probably just get it on Amazon. It's called the Banerjee Protocols. Own it. Don't kind of linger and go to Amazon at some point. Buy it now. Own it. Make sure you get the. There have been some hanky panky lately on the internet with that book. Some downloads that are not authentic. So let me see what else we've got here. Hello from Iowa. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah. As I know more and more about the Banerjees, I'll also let you know. Hubby broke both wrists. Wow. Sounds like he was snowboarding. I knew exactly what to do for pain and bone healing thanks to you. Oh, Melissa. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm delighted. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear. And so you want the second edition of the Banerjee book. The first is decent, but there's some typos. Okay. Hypericum twice daily for formication. You can use hypericum for formication, but I wouldn't use it in this circumstance. I would more likely go for, if it's formication, and there's anything that fits this picture, I would certainly go with that first. Sounds like poison ivy. Yep. A Croton tiglium can help with poison ivy. Okay, itchy spots on a person's back. Go to my blog and look up rash or eczema under Joette Calabrese, and you'll find great information there. Oh, you're welcome, Maria. Is it Marla? Oh, I think it's Maria. Okay. Is it okay to give Croton tiglium when it's not summer? You bet you can. So we're not looking to fulfill all of these characteristics of this medicine, but they give us clues. The more we have, the better we can make a good choice. Okay. Are these update additions to the original Banerjee book? Are there updates? Well, Mike, I got to tell you that there is someone who has additional Banerjee protocols. I'm going to be honest with you. I've not really vetted that book. I know I need to do it. I need to check it out. And so I have no reason to believe that they're not good. And then of course you've got my blog and you've got all my courses: Good Gut, Bad Gut, Skin, The Ugly Truth, Feminopathy, etc. And that's what I do, is I give you all of those protocols. Are there remedies for a cradle cap, or is it rubbing oil on the head a better way to treat? One of my children had cradle cap, and I did use oil, but I also used remedies. And I believe I talk about that on my blog. Does diarrhea need to be present to use Croton? No, it does not need to be present. Calc carb is a great medicine for cradle cap, absolutely. And I would always use calc carb in a 200 potency for something like that. You bet. Let's see what else we've got here. Let me just carry on and find more comments in Facebook. Yeah, they're coming in fast and hard, and I can't keep up with them. Okay. And yes, I do have a course for skin and rashes. It's called Skin the Ugly Truth. Sandy and CB. Great. A trucker's traveler kit. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody could get to Canada, those of you who are there, and hand these guys a kit, a homeopathy kit? Would be absolutely wonderful. And they could share it with each other. I mean, they've got to get out of their trucks and go to bed, right? Or maybe they sleep in them, depending on what kind of trucks they're driving. And they got to eat. And I've been diving into homeopathy, and I'm so thrilled. Stay home mom, new to homeschooling. I've had terrible eczema on my hands since giving birth to my kids. I've just learned about TSW. Wow, right now I'm using antimonium crude and petroleum. Good choices. But should you have trouble, I've got Skin the Ugly Truth is but to be honest, before you go to a course, check out my blog. Love those Canadian truckers, you bet. And they're getting bigger and bigger. It's getting longer and more intense. It's so amazing when people come together and linking arms. It's a beautiful thing. Um, so the itchy, crusty scalp. Wait a minute, hold on. It's flipping around. Oh, goodness. Where did that go? I'm sorry. Just wanted to tell you that you helped save my son from his severe mosquito allergy, extreme and very scary hives. Beautiful. And I'm sorry, it's just flipping up so quickly I can't keep up. Would this remedy be a good choice for very itchy hive-like rash during current virus? No, it's not I'm not going to tell you it wouldn't be, but it's not my first choice. Hives are different, and if you look up on my blog under hives, you will find information about that. Convoy to Ottawa, 2022 restart. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It's just wonderful to see. All these past 2 years, I've said, where, what's going on? Where are the alpha males? Where are they? I know they're all over this grand earth. Where are they? Here they are. Here are some of them. We've got others too. Roger Morrison mentions croton tig for roost poisoning, dermatitis, colitis, and mastitis. Robin Murphy mentions colic, neuralgia. Well, we know especially rectal neuralgia. Ophthalmia, in addition to what we have just learned. You bet. And that's what I want you to do. Who said that? This was Elise, right? No, Lisa. Lisa, this is exactly what I want you to do. When I teach you a medicine and you're considering using it, I want you to go to your Materia Medicas. You went to Robin Murphy. You went to Roger Morrison. You could go to Boriki. These authors are very in depth. My Materia Medica is really very lightweight. It's to just get people started and get them going on the Materia Medica for a quick reference. But if you want to study in depth, and you may need to do that when you're coming across a medicine, my Materia Medica is very, very simple. It's not very thick. And so what I urge you to do is to read up. And I also want to tell you that Dr. James Tyler Kent is free online, and many of the other Materia Medicas are free online. Also, for those of you who are interested in learning, just kind of gentle, fun learning, go to Dr. Dorothy Shepherd. I'm pronouncing it that fashion because it's spelled exactly how it sounds. Shepherd. Dr. Dorothy Shepherd. She was a medical doctor during World War I and World War II in London, and she writes beautifully. She's chatty. It feels like she's just speaking to you. I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure these were of a certain sort, almost lectures. She's probably spoken to it, well, maybe not into a tape player in World War I, but maybe by World War II, it was being recorded and then it was just transcribed, because they're very chatty and interesting books. And I know that you will enjoy those books. Alrighty, the good vibrations that people are feeling around the globe from the convoy. Yes, reminds me of how homeopathy works. You bet. Yep, these are beautiful remedies for use during eczema. My single daughter wonders that too. Men arise! My single daughter wonders that. They're out there. We've got some incredible men out there. And now we're seeing them all coming out. I think many people have sat back and said, "What am I? What? Wait, let me get my head wrapped around. What? We're supposed to wear what? We're supposed to stand where? We can't leave what?" And so I think it took people by surprise. And I think folks needed to kind of rethink it through, get as much information as they could, of course, away from conventional media and conventional thought, because we will never find good information where the masses reside. I'm sorry. I wish I could say something different than that. But I taught my children when they were young, watch what everyone else is doing, my dears, and do the opposite. You're likely to make a better decision that way. And so, with that, I'm going to say good night. Good times make weak men, hard times make strong men. You got it, Dolly. It's beautiful. Yep. Yeah, I know. I agree. The culture and education system has done a great job at demasculizing the world. We need those men. We want strong masculine men and strong feminine women. No doubt about it. And so I say, God bless to all of you. And I will see you. And I will see you next week at the same time, at the same place. God bless you all.